Hey, welcome to ILTG, the show that keeps you inspired, informed, and in the know. I'm your host, Vision X, and we are just going to jump right into this video.
You ever hear people say, like, they can't all be wrong about you? Yes, they can, sweetheart. Everybody can be wrong about you. Everybody. I don't care how many people say it. Could be 1,000 people say one thing. Everybody can be wrong about you. You have to understand how the realm of the spirit works. And I think First Kings 22 is the best example of how there were 400 false prophets who lied about something, and only one prophet, Prophet Micaiah, told the truth about it. And he ended up being the only person that told the truth about it. Just because you see the masses saying something about a situation, a person, anything, does not mean the masses are correct. And most of y'all know that. Y'all just be acting stupid. Scripture has proven that everybody can be wrong about something, and just one person can say, this isn't right. This is what's really happening. This is what's true. And that one person out of the 400 people that everybody thinks are prophets can be the one telling the truth. You ever hear people say, like, they can't all be wrong about you?
So yeah, she's hitting that on the nail on the head. I used to hang around a lot of you know, popular people. They consider themselves popular um in LA and Atlanta and even Kansas and New York and etc. And one thing I noticed is that a lot of people have this pick me mentality. They want to be included in these friends groups. They want to be wanted. They want to be seen. So what they would do is they would allow others to say things that's not truthful, or they will allow people to get away with saying things about other people that are not true. And then that information ends up spreading to everybody else. I used to see this. It's actually really prevalent, like in LA. I used to hang around a lot of those guys. I did, and they would sit there, and even some of the girls, they would sit there. They would act like they friends with you, and then as soon as you don't invite them to a party, and out here, drugs and celebrity and all that stuff is really big. So if you don't know a celebrity, or you're not offering them drugs, or you're not having group sex parties with them with the hottest people, they don't want to hang out with you. And you would sit there and tell somebody, hey, this is something that's bothering me. I don't like it. And then they will make you seem like the bad person. I have seen there's also this mentality of, oh, this person's no longer in the group. I've seen people get kicked out of groups because they didn't invite people to parties. Seriously. And I said, why would I said y'all kicking this person out because they are trying to get their bag, their money, however you want to call it. They're trying to better themselves, and you're sitting here saying that they are the reason why they got their own selves kicked out of the group. I said, a lot of times in business, people are not thinking about trying to invite you to a party. A lot of people are trying to better themselves. And there's this one group. I tell a lot of people, it's nothing but a bunch of big ass muscle dudes, and they're technically women. I said, y'all might as well just, go ahead and do the transition and get a split. Because I said, this is ridiculous. I said, y'all gossip more than females. Y'all lie. Y'all spread false information. I said, and then y'all want to sit around and watch Drag Race and all this other stuff and act like everybody's best friends forever. But when you were high and you were drunk and you were upset at that person, you sat there and you spread all that information to everybody's business. And this is one thing I said about in another episode. And I was talking to one of our guests, and it was really interesting because you have people that will sit there and try to make it seem like, oh, the other person's at fault for the things that you said. No, you're at fault for the things that you said because you said these things. You know they weren't true, but you're upset because they didn't invite you to the party, or they didn't give you a bump. Or, I mean, it's the silliest things I've ever seen in my life. And popularity to me, this is how I see it. Popularity to me is somebody like, uh, I won't throw a name out there, but it's like some big party event planners out here, and they're actually giving people opportunities, giving people jobs to elevate themselves. They got the connections. They got, they do have celebrities that come and, work their events. That to me is popularity. That's somebody that's actually doing something for the community, bettering everybody, trying to do something that's beneficial. versus, oh, popularity on this other side of this group is, oh, we're having group sex and doing drugs together. Okay, if that's what y'all consider popularity in LA, then so be it. But to me, that's not popularity. I mean, can anybody get you a contract making hundreds of thousands of dollars? Can anybody get you that high paying job? Can he get you a connection into, like, getting these nice living places, where they're like excluded communities? I said no. I said all y'all doing is sleeping around with each other, having sex, and starting drama with each other. It's ridiculous. And so I've seen people that this one person is telling the truth, but the rest of the group don't want to hear it because the alleged popular people don't like that particular person. I've seen it happen so many times. And it's just one of those things that just kind of, I always tell people, just make sure you speak up. And if that's not your crowd, that's not your crowd. I know that my crowd is not the LA crowd. I cannot hang around a bunch of people that is working for other people to sustain themselves, that has no business acumen, that needs to be high all the time or drunk all the time, that needs to be at group sex all the time. I'm like, that's not doing nothing for me because once your looks fade and that popularity fade, what do you have to fall back on? What about those business deals and business connections that you have? There's nothing to fall back on. And most of the people I've hung out with in LA have been just below par. I mean, I think I've only met probably two or three people that was really, and I'm talking about, I met hundreds of people going to these parties and popular events. And it's like everybody's still trying to get a leg up. Everybody's still trying to make it. But because they don't haven't made it yet, they want to down you. And that's why another thing is don't be telling people exactly what you're doing. I've known people that say, oh, I'm going to do events or I'm going to start singing or I'm going to start doing this. And then they're like trying to discourage you and talk bad about you to other people. And then it gets back to you and you get discouraged. And I have seen people literally give up their dreams or give up their business plan because the person that don't have the actual the acumen or the the drive to do what you're doing. So that's why I tell people don't tell nobody about your plans or anything like that. It's not worth it. What she's telling you is the absolute truth. And my advice to you is that you got to start finding your tribe. I know that my tribe is not the muscle bound group sex drug crowd. It's just not for me. Now it's fun to go hang out with them. On a rare occasion they might have a little get together here and there, but that's it. Other than that, I don't need validation from people that's still trying to make it, still staying with 18 roommates, people that's still leeching off other people that's using others. And this is one thing I'll leave you with. The things that you say about people, it's always that one or two people in the group that is friends with this person or know this person, and it always gets back to them. So just because they're at your event or you see them there, that doesn't mean they rock with you. That means that, hey, I'm here, I can be cordial, but at the same time, I do know what you said. So yeah, I'm going to end this segment. If you would like to be a guest on this show, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.